Should be live right now. Hopefully this works. Let me know. Alright, we are working. Cool. Sweet. I'm so glad it's finally kicking on and working here. Oh man, that was stressing me out. Okay, it's kind of laggy right now for whatever reason, so hopefully it fixes itself. I do have a lot going on here on the screen, so I'm trying something new. Supposedly the encoder was messing up, so I'm glad everybody's here. Hey Fee, what's going on? Urban Bourbon Kathy, what is going on? Johnny Cook Jr., she rocks. Hey, music and lyrics, Fee Fries, what is going? Good to see you. Anthony Husha, how's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for coming by and joining in on the stream with me. I do appreciate all of your love and support. Let me close this. Hopefully that fixes what's going on here. We're just running into some technical stuff right now. I'm just trying to make sure everything's working properly. That was a joke. Okay, so hopefully that fixes the situation. Drop the bit rate a little bit more. See if that equals itself out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to delete something. Okay. And everybody hear and see me properly? Is everything working really good? Hey, Johnny Cook Jr., Kyoko Rock fams, Unearthly Wanderings, Anthony Husha, the Sharpshooter, the Man fam. What is going on, everybody? The audio is low? Okay, let me fix that. I think I know what's up with that. So I have to go into the computer settings every time I do this. Can everybody hear me better now? Is this working? Okay. So that should be better now. I should have 17 people in here. Thank you so much, guys. Seriously. Much love and appreciation. Okay, that's better. Awesome. So sweet. I'm so glad to see everybody here. Much love and light. Okay, awesome. Just in time prepping. What is going on? Bambi Chaffee, the fam, what is going on? Good to see you. Good to see everybody here. 18 people watching. I'm so glad you guys joined me tonight. So glad this finally decided to work. There is a little bit of a lag. That's just something I'm going to have to deal with tonight until I can figure this out. So how do you guys like the banner and everything? I put one of my own photos in the background where the thing is right there. I don't like the yellow though. I'm not twerking. No. Okay, cut that out and paste. Okay. Cut this. Hopefully it's a color I could work with. Awesome, cool. So I do have the call-in number now. It's scrolling through the chat. Chat is now green, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm running OBS. Yeah, this is OBS for Mac, sorry. Hey, Cryptid559, what is going on? Good to see you. Hey, Saints Row Boss, what is going on? Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Saint Robos. It made me have to put in another encoder code. I don't know. They switched my regular encoder code. Hey, Joyce Wanda Alcabrack. Alcabrack. What? Alkenbrack. What is going on? Welcome to the stream. Hello. Thank you so much. So what is this? I'm new. This is going to be the After Dark special where I tell scary ghost stories at night. So this is a lot of fun and the stories are really creepy and scary. If you have a story that you would like to come up and share on the show, you can call in using that number at the top that's scrolling by over my head. So you can do that. Hey, Benny Loco, what's up? Good to see you. Trying to see if there's anybody that I missed. Oh, cool. You're running OBS as well. Awesome. Guys, if you haven't checked out my channel before, and if you're new and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. It would really help my channel grow. I have a live subscriber thing that actually pops up right here in front of me that shows your name and if you subscribe, and it also has the live counter at the bottom where you can actually see your number go up, and then it'll say who you are when you subscribe. So it'll kind of give you a little bit of a shout out, and you'll get a personal shout out from me, which is really cool. Oh, damn. Oh, what the fuck? Mm. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. My computer's flipping out tonight. Oh, what? Okay, I'm back. Hopefully this works. Doesn't do it again. So, I'm back. So yeah, there you go right there. Spooky stories to call in if you have a scary story that you would like to tell me. The number is right there, 805-556-8798. If you have a scary ghost story that you want to tell, you can come up and I'll put you live on the broadcast. I know I never left. Jesus. No, it did tell me that I went offline. Wow, 26 people watching. Thank you guys. No, it just went off by itself. It's just OBS is telling me that it's running hard tonight because probably so many people are using their system tonight. Hey, Tresha Gregory, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. Cardiac Tap fam, what is going on? Good to see you. All right. So, I just want to hang out with you guys for a few minutes. It is always good to hang out with the fam. So many awesome people here. I'm so glad that I had the chance to go live tonight. Almost didn't make it because of work. Work was just killing me tonight. Certain people. It's the holidays. People are acting kind of crazy right now. Oh, you're talking about Johnny. Oh, gotcha. Kim Fitzgerald Rock fam, what is up? Good to see ya. Hey, Kenneth the Kentucky fam, what is going on? Oh my gosh, yay, seems like forever. Yeah, I only missed that one stream yesterday, which I kind of feel bad about not doing meditation Mondays, but I was just getting back from a trip yesterday, so I was really tired. All right, I am doing good. Music and lyrics. I am just tired. Just trying to stay up. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be great hanging out with all y'all. 30 people in the house right now. Holy smokes! Thank you guys so much for the 30 people hanging on here. I do appreciate it. Good news is I got some sage. Some sage. There you go. So I did a little smudging session earlier, cleansed the house a little bit. Your sound is soft. Why? Advanced. Okay. Well, it's saying that it's full up here, so let me see. I think it's just where my mic is positioned at, but it says my volume for my mic is all the way up, but something definitely weird is going on here, so. Alright, Cardiac Tap fam, good to see you. Hey, Cynthia, what's going on? Awesome sauce. Leon Ladybug, what is going on? PSPR Paranormal Pursuit is in the house. What is up, PSPR Paranormal Pursuit? Good to see you, my friend. Alright. It is just really, really laggy. I should have probably restarted my computer before I did all this. Okay, let me try one thing here. That should maybe hopefully fix things. Okay. I mean, like, I even eliminated color from the thing, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it doesn't kick me off, but it is a possibility. Okay. So, to get to the scary ghost stories. Alright. Stories. Tell in the dark. Hold on, guys. I think this is the website. Alright. Hey, thank you for the 27 people watching. I do really appreciate all of y'all's support. Okay, so we are going to be reading some scary stories. I won't be able to see the chat much other than what's already popping up here. Alright, hold on. Let me get to the chat real quick. See if there's any new people here. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Oh, cool. You're gonna go to watch this on the TV? Awesome. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad this is your favorite stream. That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. Okay. So let me get back here. Thank you for the 28 people watching. So, ghost stories. There we go. Okay, this one is called Seven. There was a group of there was a group of teenage friends, 4 boys and 4 girls that went to the same high school. One night they were having a small party in the house. One of the boys, at one of the boys' houses. It was after midnight and they wanted to take turns sharing scary stories. The friends wanted to test their courage by going into a haunted location. They thought it would be fun to scare themselves by exploring a creepy place in the dark. Hey, that's what I do here on this channel. Alright. One of the girls had a car, so they drove out to an old schoolhouse, parked on the grounds. There's 8 friends that decided to explore the school in pairs. Their plan was to walk around the school anti-clockwise. It would have taken about 10 minutes to go around the school. The first pair would start off, and when they would return, they would tell the others what they had seen. Then it was their turn to take the second pair and walk around the school. The first pair, a boy and a girl, set off as the remaining 6 teenagers waited by the car. After a while, they began to grow impatient. It had been more than 20 minutes and their friends had not returned. After 30 minutes, it had been 30 minutes since the first pair had left. They got tired of waiting. The next boy and girl decided to walk around their school and wait and look for their friends. Others waited and waited, but the second pair failed to come back. The remaining teenagers could not understand what was happening. They began to wonder if their friends were playing a joke on them. It was almost an hour since the first pair had left, and the third boy and girl pair was nervously set off to try to find their missing friends. They never returned. The boy and the girl remained behind, very nervous. The girl began to cry and the boy began to try to comfort her. Eventually, the boy said, "I'm going to go look for the others. If I don't come back in 30 minutes, go straight to the police." After he left, the girl stood in the cold alone in the dark, weeping silently. She waited an hour, but nobody came back. She got in the car, took the keys to the ignition, or turned the keys in the ignition, and drove to the nearest police station. Four police officers accompanied the girl back to the school, and as dawn began to break, they launched a search for the 7 missing teenagers. At first, they could not find any sign of them on the school grounds, but then they discovered the side of the old old torn down school gym that was standing open. The police went outside. It was empty. There was an eerie silence in the air. And when they looked inside the toilet of the gym, they finally found the missing 7. They were all hanging from the ceiling by their necks. The police questioned the surviving girl, and she swore she had been telling the truth. The 7 teenagers had gone to the abandoned school to test their courage. Nobody had any reason to commit suicide. However, after spending weeks trying to solve the mystery, the police finally closed the case, saying that they could not find any evidence that the teenagers had been murdered. The incident was explained away in a case of mass hysteria. The police claimed that the 7 teenagers had been involved in some suicide pact. To this day, nobody in the town dares to venture into that old school building after nightfall. So what do you guys think of that story? Hey, M Life Kids and Videos, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Wow, that's crazy, Tara. That one was actually based on a true story. Hey, Jerry, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Alright, let's recondition. There we go. Okay, at least it stayed plugged in. Okay. Hey, you guys, if you have any scary stories that you want to come up and tell, you can always do that as well. All you gotta do is call that number. Alright. These are scary, true ghost stories. Hold on, actually, I grabbed the wrong one. Alright. The pendulum. When I was young, my mother brought me to visit my grandmother in an old farmhouse where she lived. At night, my mother would put me into bed up in the upstairs room, while she slept on the couch downstairs. Every night, I woke awake in the darkness. I would hear an odd scratching sound in the attic. It was very slow and it sounded like it was moving back and forth, like a moving pendulum. Back and forth and back and forth, it would sweep across the ceiling. At first, I was scared, but after a while, I got used to the slow, steady rhythm of the scratching that would lull me into an uneasy sleep. A few years later, my grandmother passed away. My mother and I were cleaning out her house. We were in the attic and moving some small boxes when I had noticed in the middle of the wooden floor, under a thick covering that the dust had cleared over the years, there were visible scratch marks in the wood. Chuckling, I called my mother over to and told her how, as a child, I often heard scratching noises coming from the attic in the room above where I had slept. My mom's face grew white and pale. She gently took me by the shoulders in a trembling voice and told her father had lost a job in the Great Depression and could barely afford to feed his family. He came home one night and hung himself in the attic with a horse bridle. Apparently, at the last moment, he regretted his decision but struggled to gain his footing, and his flailing boots scratched the wooden floor where he had hung himself. So, what did you guys think of that one? Okay, so hey Paul, how's it going? Wonder Pup Adventures. How you doing? Oh yeah. I'll probably talk more about that one tomorrow night, Paul. When I have people on panel. I talked to him today, by the way. So I finally did get a hold of him. I'm gonna try to bring that guy on the show. That was a really interesting video, but I will share that probably more like tomorrow night. Alright. Hey, Belinda, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I'm going to open up this window here real quick. Okay. I hope everybody likes the stream. I hope everybody likes the layout. Hopefully it looks professional. I try to change the theme up a little bit. I hope everybody liked the new channel trailer and the artwork that I did for the channel. I'm kind of doing a little revamp again just to make my channel look more professional and kind of grab people's attention. Hopefully keep people in here. Hope everybody likes the content here. It seems like you do because these are the same people that are here again and again. So I really do appreciate it. Okay, no problem. Prayers to you, Unearthly Wanderings. Thank you. Matt, myself, I was Lou live and trying to tell him something and it came out wrong. Oh no. Awesome. Thank you for the 24 people in the stream. I do appreciate it. So, I am gonna bring my little bowl of sage here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna grab a piece. Smells so good. Sorry, I'm just putting a little bit of sage in the bowl. Trying to get a little smoke here. There we go. So yeah, I'm just trying to get a little sage going here. We're going to get a storm here. Wow. Leah, what number is this, John? What? Sorry. Leah, who is that number? Is that John's number? that number that's being tossed around is the stream, the number for the stream. If you want to call in, it connects to my phone, so you guys can share your scary stories. It's like a call-in show. That's pretty much how I'm gonna set this channel up now. Because they're actually gonna be phasing out Google Hangouts in the future, so I want to be like accustomed to doing this. So I'm just burning a little bit of sage. Hey, the drunk Fred, what is going on? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Yeah. Hey, drunk Fred, are you new to the stream? If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. It would really mean a lot. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I don't like storm. Actually, that's not true. I love storms. What am I talking about? I'm a storm chaser. I love that stuff. I love crazy weather. I just don't like snow. Because I'm a southern boy, I like snow. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a little sage going in here. Yes. Because it smells good, and it wards off evil spirits. And I don't need any more craziness happening on this stream. So I'm trying to enact any good spirits who would like to communicate. There we go. Got it really going. Okay, cool. So yes, welcome to everybody to After Dark number 15. If you guys would like to share your scary ghost story, you can call that number that's being passed around in the chat. Well, in California, if you want to get some snow, you'll have to go to the summit. Yes, you do. Yep. Hey, Warrior Television, welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a good evening so far. It looks like you're new to the channel. If you haven't considered subscribing to my channel, I will make sure you guys get a shout out if you subscribe. So please, please make sure you consider subscribing to my channel. Oh no, I actually did smudge my house earlier. You can see it by this. It's all burnt at the top. I did a huge smudging earlier. I smudge this house now probably like once a week. Oh nice, you made your first coffee mug. Wow, that's crazy, Leah. Burning some white sage. I like the smell of it. It keeps out evil spirits. So I'm just having the smoke go in the room. It's nice and calm and peaceful, and it actually wards out evil spirits. If there's any evil spirits in and around this room, in this house, I ask you to exit through that window. You do not belong here. Okay. Y'all know, you've seen some of my live streams where weird shit happens to my house. And particularly this room. So, I'm just giving you guys fair warning. Ordered a Christmas present for my kids, but it won't be here until after Christmas. Aw, that's so sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, Tambear, what is going on? Good to see you. No, I'm not smoking the sage. Okay, back to the scary stories. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to make sure that I had some sage going for some protection. Okay, the next scary ghost story. Texas Life Julie, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, I'm drinking, so I'm here. Awesome. Alright, sounds good. A little bit of drinky time. Sounds awesome. Okay, this one is called The Basement Room. And this is a true story. A year ago, a family went on vacation in Cape Cod. They rented a small old house to stay for 2 weeks. On the main floor was the kitchen, the living room, and the bathroom. The bedrooms were on the second floor. There was a basement room downstairs with a washer and dryer, a sofa, and a television. On the first night, we were all wakened by a terrible scream in the sister's bedroom. When my dad had burst into the room and turned on the light, he found her sitting up in bed, screaming and crying. My parents sat down with her and comforted her until she had calmed down enough to tell him what had happened and what had scared her. She had said that she was awakened in the middle of the night by a horrible stench. When she opened her eyes, she had seen a bedroom soaked in blood from top to bottom. There was blood all over the floor, bloody handprints on the walls, and blood spatter all over the ceiling. We all thought we were having a nightmare, but she refused to go back into her bedroom and stayed in with our parents for the remainder of the holiday. One evening, my mother was cooking in the kitchen upstairs, and my father had gone out on an errand in the nearby town. My sister and I were in the basement room watching TV when all of a sudden the light bulb popped and the TV went off, leaving us in complete darkness. The basement was unfinished and had old stone walls, making it kind of creepy. For a few seconds, we all froze, not knowing what to do. But when we started to smell something horrible, this stench went in and hit our noses to the point where we felt nauseous. It smelled like rotting flesh. The smell grew worse and worse, and then we started to hear scratching in the darkness. Something had seemed to have been scratching on the floor and the walls. We screamed and began scrambling around in the pitch black, trying to find the door. Eventually, we managed to open up the door and ran upstairs, screaming to our mother. We tried telling her about the disgusting smell we had heard down there. My mother eventually agreed to go to the basement to replace the bulb and check out the source of the horrible smell. She took a flashlight and a new bulb and disappeared in the darkness of the basement. We waited at the top of the stairs. We expected her to return quickly, but she seemed to be down there for an eternity. Suddenly, we saw her emerge out of the darkness. Running up the stairs, she slammed the basement door as soon as she could. She turned to us, and her face was completely drained of colors. Her eyes were wide with fear. I don't want you to go down there again. When she went into the kitchen and called the police, we overheard her conversation on the phone and managed to figure out that she had seen someone downstairs in the basement room. As we waited for the police to come, we huddled around in the living room, staring at the basement door for any movement. We expected to hear some banging or try to break it down, but my mother refused to tell us what she had seen. When the police arrived, my mother greeted them at the door and ushered them inside. She unbolted the door and went down into the darkness with their flashlights and their guns drawn. They searched the basement room but found nothing. There was no way out of the basement, no windows, and no doors. Whatever had been in there had to have come out through the basement. After the police had left, my mother finally revealed that what she had seen in there in the pitch darkness. She spoke of it and became very still and quiet. She had said changing the light bulb when she was changing the light bulb downstairs, she began to smell a horrible stench as we described it to her. She started to hear faint scratching noises. She shone her flashlight and suddenly caught eyes of something crouched in between the washer and the dryer. It was a man crouched on all fours. His clothes were tattered, and his hair was wild and tangled. And his face didn't look human. It was a twisted expression of pure hatred. It was a split second. He looked at my mother, his eyes reflecting off the beam of the flashlight, and he suddenly crawled forward, disappearing into the wall. My mother saw him simply vanish into the air. She dropped the flashlight and ran. After that, none of us would ever go to the basement. We kept the door locked and bolted. Every night we slept in our parents' rooms and locked that door too. We cut our holiday short a few days later and just drove home. So what did you guys think of that story? I'm going to try to get back into the comment section here. Yeah, North Carolina was getting snow for sure. A lot of it. All right. All right, see ya, Jerry. Yeah, that's beyond creepy, you guys. Wow, 36 likes already. You guys rock. Woo-wee. That's awesome, folks. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. This is awesome. Let's see the analytics. Where are we going towards? 80. We're already at 80 views in the first 40 minutes, so that's pretty rad. Let's see. All right. All right. Hey, I think we got a caller.
Cynthia.
Huh. We got a call from Cynthia Downs. Hey, is this Cynthia Downs?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. How you been?
I've been really good. How about yourself?
Good, thanks. Really good.
Awesome.
So I found a story that's really cool. Really cool.
Sweet.
And it's true.
Ooh.
And it's by this guy that wrote it himself. And it's like mind-boggling. I totally dig it. Totally. So, am I supposed to read it or something, or what?
Yeah, go ahead and read it, and you got my attention, so.
Okay. Well, okay, let's go. My story takes place in mid-August of 1975. My father, older brother, and I making a hurried trip to my grandmother's cabin, located a few miles outside of town in the backwoods of Mars Hill, North Carolina, nestled in the majestic Blue Ridge Mountains. Her home is quiet and secluded and infrequently visited and has little to none of the standard amenities and comforts that we have come to expect and enjoy. My brother and I were 4 years apart, and that was just enough for us to be at odds with one another. Normally, we would be as far apart from each other as possible, but cramped in a vehicle for hours on end was torture for us both. His constant complaining only made the distance seem punishingly longer. His whining, his whining simply forced me deeper into my shell of self-preservation. Now, just in case, wait, where'd it go? Did I miss something? Now, just in case you may be wondering as to the accuracy or mental capacity of one so young and insecure with life, Please let me assure you that I was much wiser than most, and I was very capable of in-depth understanding and knowledge of everything around me. I was mentally present and always perceptive in all ways possible. The facts that you are now hearing are accurate in every detail. This should have been an enjoyable and relaxing trip because I did love my grandmother dearly. In the past, we had a few brief opportunities to speak on a phone, and those conversations alone solidified my love for her. She was family, and that was all that mattered. I was very anxious to meet her for the first time, but what was to occur in the last night of our stay was so life and mind altering and unsettling that I was never able to share the events till now. And as for my grandmother's home, I never returned. Even to this day, I become chilled and nauseous remembering what I'm about to share with you now.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good so far, huh?
Yeah. Oh, there's more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's long. You want me to go into it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, back to my story. After what seemed like days, we finally reached the last stretch of paved road to our destination. From what little I could see outside my window, this didn't even look like a road at all, more like a dirt track. We reached the point where we could drive no further, and we were forced to leave the comforts of the vehicle and walk the equivalent of a block or so to my grandmother's house. As a side note, I should say that my grandmother did not like the title of grand or grandmother, but much preferred being called by her name, Sadie Mae. So in my own feeble attempt at a fraction of adolescent respect, I called her Miss Sadie. We reluctantly opened the car doors and grabbed only what we needed for the night, as my father clearly stated that the final track to Miss Sadie's house was unlevel, unpaved, wet, and slick. I grabbed my pillow and nothing more and quickly grabbed my father's hand to guide me in the dark. The ground was drenched and I was being pounded by unending cold raindrops from the low-hanging trees. I had only stepped feet from the car, and in moments my clothing was soaked through, cold, wet, and damp. I pushed on with only two consolations: my father's hand, the small flashlight that he'd given me to the light path for my feet. I distinctly remember him saying, "If you hear growling or hissing, just shine the light in that area for a few seconds, and it should stop, but keep walking." I listened and willingly obeyed, but what was this it that he spoke of? And any light was comforting at this point, but the tiny batteries were no match for the darkness. It only penetrated a few feet ahead of me into the unnerving blackness and left the rest for my imagination. At last, there was no more mud and no longer a feeling that the ground was moving beneath me. Instead, the path was covered in rocks, and I remembered my father saying that the rocks signified the fact that we were getting closer. And at last there was no more mud and no longer a feeling that the ground was moving beneath me. Instead, the path was covered in rocks, and I remember I said that, saying it signified the fact we were getting closer. Okay, did that. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, off in the near distance was the comforting sound of water flowing, and this sound became louder and louder as we slowly and carefully made our way towards it. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and 4, and we crossed over a small elevated bridge and then found ourselves in an open field. Suddenly, my eyes caught a faint glimpse in the distance. It was inviting and welcoming. I saw a single flame and candle or lamp. All I knew was that it wasn't electric this far out in the hills. The light winked and beckoned me closer, and the closer I got, the more entrancing it became. Once I crossed the other side of the bridge, a small window frame became clear, and it cradled the flame so nicely. Then curtains appeared, and the house itself began to emerge. I was only feet away from a warm and dry environment with walls and a roof protection. The light winked and beckoned me. Oh, wait, I did that. Protection. Where am I? Okay. As I dragged my tired and wet little body up the 12 creaky wooden steps, we were greeted with a loud and excited and more expected, "Hello, son." I gasped slightly and shook to the bone. I didn't know that someone was even out there.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's see. She beckoned us inside and quickly lit other lamps to enable her greater view of her late night guests. So great to see you and the little one, she said. She came to my brother first and said, "My, how he's grown." Okay, this is all about him getting there. And when she finally talks to him about what's going on, it gets really freaky. And this is his, how do I say it? This is just him speaking of, this is his journey to what happened to him. I hope it's not boring.
No, this is great.
Okay. I mean, if it gets boring, tell me. I promise. I can
No,
get to the end fast.
this is so cool.
Okay. All right. So let's see. My, how he's grown. They're so big. I must just have to put these boys to work tomorrow in the field. Not exactly what I wanted to hear after our journey, but her lack of humor is quickly replaced with hugs and forehead kisses for us all. She then looked at me and said something quickly to my father that I didn't quite make sense. She said, "Oh, look at the little one, so darling and precious. He looks just like him, you know." All I heard was the word precious, and that made me feel special. Meeting her for the very first time was so thrilling and eye-opening. I was learning more and more about her and my father as minutes passed. He became a child again in her presence, but this enlightening time ended quickly as we were encouraged to shed our wet garments and get into bed. I was exhausted and needed sleep. I had no idea that this would be my last night, peaceful night's sleep, because these backwoods were holding a menacing secret that I would soon come face to face with. But for now, rest.
Hmm.
Okay, where's the other one? I opened the door from my room. Oh, wait. Am I doing something wrong? I'm not used to scrolling and reading.
Oh yeah, no, I hear you. I'm still getting used to it myself.
Yeah, I like books, so.
Yes.
I opened the door from my room, and there it was. It was one of the most memorable smells I can honestly say that I'll never forget. As I stepped in the parlor, I saw Miss Sadie's best dishes laid out before me. They were simple and unadorned, but placed with meticulous precision. Miss Sadie was in the cooking feverishly over her black cast iron stove. The sounds and smells of freshly cooked sausage sizzling on a wood-burning stove was worth the drive here. She began by making the sausage first, then she would drain the sausage into a side skillet and would then cook the bacon in that rendered fatty fluid. After the bacon had been removed and set aside, the remaining bacon and sausage grease was added to the fresh cream and flour and made into an ever-thickening gravy. The gravy was the focal point of the table until until her homemade biscuits entered the room. They were soft, buttery, huge, and flaky, and ready for consumption. You just knew they were delicious by their appearance alone.
Hmm.
Once the food had been placed on the table, we then took our places in designated spots. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the part where it's really good. Oh, yeah. An empty spot was left at the other end of the table, and in the chair seat below was placed a small stuffed animal that was tattered and torn with age. I didn't ask why, and did my best to give the impression that I didn't even see the toy or table placement. I thought it strange, but I was so hungry that it just didn't matter. All I knew was that if I waited any longer, I would begin nibbling on the fake fruit that was placed on the table for decoration. After the meal was done and our bellies were full, we fulfilled our responsibilities with clean and we were free to go. But before I left, I asked Miss Sadie this one question that I couldn't get out of my mind. Miss Sadie, why was our table set for 5 people, even though it was just the 4 of us? And where did that toy come from that's sitting in the chair? My father looked over at his mother and then back to me again to his mother and said, "It's okay, you can tell him." She walked over to me, put her arm around my shoulders, and led me toward the front of the house. We walked slowly and had no words between us. We came to her bedroom, and she opened the doors, and we walked in. Okay, second part. Hang on, I'm scrolling. I hate this. I want a book.
You're doing so good so far. It sounds good.
Does it? Yeah, he's really in depth with it. I wish it was faster, but it's not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was a room I assumed was off limits, so I felt privileged to have admittance. Once inside, I saw an old photograph on the back wall. This was an oval frame with a large dome of glass that convexed out from the front. The photograph was of a boy similar age to mine and size. The very interesting thing to mention here was the resemblance between us was striking. I felt as though I was looking in a mirror. It was aged and slightly faded with dust, but very clear. This was obviously a person of importance to my grandmother. Miss Sadie, I said, "Who is this?" As her eyes began to tear up, she softly said, "This is my son. His name was Tommy, and he was your daddy's baby brother." There was a stillness in the air. I asked her where Tommy was now, and she said he had passed away and was buried on top of a hill behind the house.
Mm-hmm.
In the graveyard. I should have left my questions here, but I had no more, and now after the fact, I realized that I should have just given up my investigation. What happened to him? She told me the story that he was my age when he passed away. He had become sick at a very young age, and then he died unexpectedly, but she that was ready to let him go because she was given a sign of what was to come. Apparently, Tommy's room was the room I was sleeping in, and the bed I slept in was also Tommy's. She went on to say that on the morning that he passed away, he was lying in bed with a fever, and that she had all the windows and doors open to allow the air to cool him and keep him comfortable. It wasn't until she opened the front screen door to allow a better breeze in the house that something very strange occurred. As she opened the screen door, a large screech owl flew in and perched itself on the bedpost at the foot of Tommy's bed. She said she went to get the broom to chase the owl out of Tommy's room. There was Tommy with his eyes fully opened. He was looking at the bird, and then without reason, the bird released a piercing squeal and quickly flew out of the front door. Miss Sadie did not hesitate to close the door and then came back to Tommy's bedside. They had already passed. She said and confirmed that this was an omen and that the bird took his last breath. I can't describe how I felt at that moment. For the first time in my life, I had no words, no thoughts. I was filled with emotion, sadness, and horror. I said nothing. Tommy passed in the bed you rested in, and that was his chair at the table. I always set a place for him, and I still feel his presence with me. I truly feel as though she thought I was in reincarnation. I never went back in her room again, and I never looked at this image again, but it stays burned in my memory still. Most of the time they were spent on the porch and out front listening to the birds and the creek that ran parallel to the porch about 40 feet away. I had no difficulty finding things to amuse me. There are places to discover, rocks to turn over, and many ways for me just to disappear. Looking off the porch directly in front of me was a creek, which ran from left to right as far as I could see. To my right was a large cornfield with the old rundown outhouse located directly in front for all to see. I hated that thing. It was dark and dismal and reeked of truly awful odors. I knew the time would come when I'd be forced to use it. But till that time, I would hold everything in as long as possible. To the left of the porch was a much larger field. This was okay. I'm going to skip all this shit. This is just describing stuff. I want to get to the truly. It's scary.
Sweet.
As my explorations continued to this new territory, I glimpsed the house above the tobacco field, and there was Zelda, my grandmother's neighbor, sitting on her front porch. Oh, I think they skipped it. Anyway, his grandmother told him he's not supposed to go behind the house. Whatever he does, do not go behind the house. Her home was Miss Sadie's. As my explorations continued in this new territory, I glimpsed a house above the tobacco field, and there was Zelda, my grandmother's neighbor, sitting on her front porch. Her home was similar to Miss Sadie's in that it was elevated a good 4 to 6 feet above the ground. When our eyes met, she stood up and waved. She seemed really friendly. Zelda was a short woman with shoulder-length gray hair, no teeth, but a huge smile. Even without teeth, I have to admit her smile was more better than any smile I can remember. I could tell already that this visit would be a highlight of my day. In your heart, you knew she didn't get many visitors anyway. So this gave me a great sense of worth. Even her three-legged cat came up to love on me a little. We sat and walked and laughed and ate these cookies that she made from berries we gathered on the hill. She told me that these berries were plentiful on the hillside about halfway up, but didn't hesitate to remind me not to go up there under any circumstances. But if my father went up there with me, it might be okay. Before I left, she murmured, "Don't you forget, Zelda, now. Okay, little one? And don't forget, don't go up the side of the mountain." "Yes, ma'am, never." Time passed by so quickly, and I hated to leave, but knew that I should be headed back. I knew that I had some time now, and since I had an empty bowl, why shouldn't I get some berries for Miss Sadie? Wouldn't that be great? I quickly sneaked up the hill. I didn't want to get in trouble, but I also wanted to surprise Miss Sadie with berries, because I knew she could never climb this hill and get them herself. I eventually got so high on the hill, it was frightening, unsettling for me to stand up fully. I stayed on my hands and feet, didn't look down. Finally, I came upon a huge patch. Knew it, and my bowl was overflowing. I felt like a king. They all look so small. People all look so small from up here. I stood there confident and poised and closed my eyes. The sun on my face felt okay. I was close to the. Decided to go to the top, and even though I was disobeying orders, I just had to do this. The graveyard was small and surrounded by a fence of staked stones. One after the other, the stones made a large square around the barrier of the graves. I had come this far, so why not step over? The grave markers were modest and simple and carved with unprofessional tools. Someone had obviously put a lot of love into these memories. I would say that there were no more than 15 to 20 graves present, and there in the middle was Tommy's gravestone. It was pristine and well kept, void of overgrowth, and well cared for. I saw all this because I need to point out that the other graves in the family cemetery were broken, thrown about, or vandalized. Some graves were missing headstones, and some of the graves have been opened as well. You could literally see the casket beneath the track stones. I just couldn't figure out who would do such a thing or why, but at least Tommy's was undisturbed. Okay, that's a red flag right there when they're all screwed up. You know? But it is. There was one thing that I did find disturbing about Tommy's plot. There were 2 dead squirrels placed behind his headstone. They looked as if they had just crawled there and went to sleep and died. Don't ask me why, but they looked peaceful to me. Maybe Tommy liked squirrels. Squirrels someone placed there to remember him. I had the feeling I should do the similar thing. So I took the largest and the plumpest berries that I had from my bowl and placed them on the grave in a circle. And in the middle, I placed a red berry. Okay, scrolling. Okay, we're coming to the end. I certainly made it down the hill much faster. I had to climb it. It was only a matter of time before I found out when I went inside the house and placed my offering of goodness on the center of the table and waited for Miss Sadie to find them. And find them she did. I was hoping for more of a surprise or a cry of happiness, but instead she cried out to my father using his first and middle name, and I never heard that before. James Carter, come here quickly and bring that little one. Where did you get these? Where? Tell me now and be truthful with me. My dad just looked on in fear. I began by telling her that I went to visit Zelda and that she gave me this bowl, and that was as far as I got in my explanation before she sat down and let out a sigh of relief. Oh, you got these from Zelda? Okay, sweetie. I just want to make sure you didn't go up that darn hill. I couldn't tell her. Her reaction alone told me I made the right decision. Yeah, that was the wrong thing to do. The day had come to a close, and our last meal had ended. The morning would soon come, and we'd be off on our way again. I don't know how time flew by so quickly, but it did. And the long day's activities and the solid meal we had consumed just weighed me down. I was beginning to yawn, and my eyelids were beginning to win the fight. We had come to the last night of our visit, and this is the night that remains with me to this day. It is the most gut-wrenching night from my past. This experience startled me in many ways, and what I have to share with you is completely accurate and without dramatization or fabrication. I don't feel that anything else is needed here other than the truth. The truth is far more bizarre than anything that I could create on my own. I enjoyed the previous night's rest, so there were no reason why this one shouldn't be equally as restful. I lay there drowsy and sleepy-eyed. I fell asleep quickly and was in a dead sleep for quite a few hours until the sound of what seemed like footsteps walking across a bridge over the creek woke me from my slumber. This bridge was built by my father's eldest brother years ago. It was strong and sturdy and quickly announced to you if anything or anyone was coming across. I knew that I heard feet walking across the bridge this night. I initially tried to look out my window, but it was far too dark to see the bridge. I lay back down and told myself that I was just hearing things and that my mind was just playing tricks on me. After all, I was the only one awake, or so I thought. I was wrong. I was very wrong. Within moments after I heard the feet walking over the bridge, I then heard something rustling through the grass, and my entire body began to shake. There was something out there, and it was coming towards the house. My father lay across the room from me, snoring peacefully, and unaware of the stress I was under. I was uncomfortably shaking and wanted to cry out, but didn't for fear of drawing attention to myself, so I remained still and silent. Then the night turned into a full-blown nightmare as the sounds of feet rushing through the grass dissipated in large, heavy breathing cycles, long, drawn-out inhales, followed by extended, breathy exhales, filled the air and consumed everything around it. A very distinct and unforgettable odor accompanied this visitor, and I am likely never to forget that smell. I was sure of it. There was something outside my window now, and it was breathing and looking in and watching. Part of me just kept my face covered with my sheet, and yet I was still so very curious to see what this was. As far as my safety inside the house was concerned, well, I knew that there was nothing to be worried about because the entire house was a good 4 to 6 feet off the ground, and my window is another 2 feet up from there. My mind must be playing tricks on me. So if all this was only in my mind and there were actually nothing to be afraid of, then it wouldn't hurt for me to take a glance out the window and verify what was not happening. My adolescent curiosity got the best of me, and it forced me to do something that I now, as an adult, regret having done. I lay there and silently counted to 10 backwards and told myself that I still heard breathing. After I got to 1, that I would get up and take a fast but thorough look out the window. This was madness. I knew it, but I had to do it. It had to be that. This is one of the creative ideas that I constructed to help me combat the unknown. So I counted down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And as I continued to count, I would slow down my numeral descent because I knew that would happen once I got to the final number, 5, 4, 3. And with the number 3, I grabbed my little flashlight that my father had previously given me and prepared to jump up. It was conveniently kept close to me for comfort. It now lay very close to my heart, and I prepared to look into the darkness. Then 2 and 1. The time came for me to jump up. It was conveniently kept close to me for comfort. Then 2, then 1 came for me to spring into action. I grabbed the flashlight and violently threw the sheets off me and turned to the window and placed my flashlight against the screen and without hesitation turned it on. What I saw was the most horrifying face that anyone could ever imagine or create. I will forever remember this image and never forget it for the rest of my life. As I turned on my flashlight, there in front of me was a large face filled with dark brown hair and the most terrifying, piercing, dark as coal eyes. When the glare from my flashlight hit the eyes of this creature, it emitted a dreadful, piercing scream. Not only did I startle the creature, but I managed to make it very angry as well. I shook the frame of the window screen with force that woke everyone in the house. I don't know if this was an attempt to reach me or terrify me, but then the creature quickly and without warning sliced its hand across the screen, making 4 large and very real slash marks that went from the right of the screen down to the bottom left. I ran into the living room and fell on the floor screaming and yelling and curled myself into a fetal ball crying, "Please make it stop. Please make it stop." It all happened so quickly. Soon my grandmother ran out of her bedroom with a shotgun, threw open the front door, and ran off down the porch and into the yard and stood there in the dark and began shooting and screaming. "You are not welcome here. Get out, get out. It's not Tommy. Leave us alone." I have no idea if she managed to hit the creature, but one thing was definite. She was aware of something, and she was prepared. She spoke to it as though this was not their first encounter. Yeah. My father closed the windows to cover the cut marks, and I was encouraged to go back to bed. "Whatever that was, son, it will not return. Get some rest." I laid there like a cold zombie. A few hours later, a cry could be heard in the distance. It sounded similar to a combination of a woman giving birth and a dog being run over by the car. It was a terrifying howl, and it seemed far off and very quick. What?
I said that sounds awful. Those are two sounds that should never mix.
I know, and it's true. This is a freaking true story.
Wow.
I know. Last I heard, a huge thump on the side of the house, as though a large bird had just flown into the dark. This sound didn't seem to affect my family in any way, but I heard it, and I felt it to the core of my being. The next morning after we woke, we were all much calmer. Everyone acted as though nothing happened. As my family packed and prepared to leave, I decided to walk outside and look at the side of the house where my window was located. I felt it was safe to go outside because it was daylight after all. I walked out the front door, onto the porch, and down the steps, and immediately was overcome by the same stench I'd smelled the night before. The odor only grew stronger as I approached the window. I finally stood there in the front of the window, and there beneath, on the ground, was a decapitated animal. It had been mauled and severely attacked and even partially eaten and then thrown against the side of the house. There was even blood on the screen, but I couldn't see the entire screen due to the fact that the height of the window itself. I looked up at the screen and I could see some of the claw marks across it, and then my fear intensified because if I was able to see a face in the middle of my screen, then whatever was at my window had to have been 8 to 10 feet tall. I then recalled his awful, chilling scream and hurried back into the house. To this day, I am uncomfortable with what I saw there on the ledge outside of the window. I am left unsure. I remember my grandmother telling me not to mess with the cemetery at the top of the hill, and I wonder if I had irritated or disturbed something up there. We left that day, and I don't remember any part of the drive on the way back home. I was still traumatized. I'm still unsure of what I encountered because of the fear of looking stupid and crazy. I never shared this story with anyone because I knew just how crazy it sounds. Now, 40 years later, I have nothing to fear. Sometimes at night, I still see and smell this dreadful animal, and I remember its face peering into me and screaming and yelling and shaking the frame of the house with anger. The end.
Wow. That's incredible.
Total true story. Yeah, he wrote this himself.
Jeez, that's so scary.
Well, you know what? The piercing, this is what I get from it. I don't know if you get this, but it seems to me that he and the bird kind of switched places.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember when the little boy was dying?
Yep.
The bird, because they say owls are the harbingers of death, that they're a bad omen.
Mm-hmm.
That they're a sign of death. And so he came in, and this is a true story. So the bird comes in when Tommy dies, and he screams, and that's the boy's last breath. And he said he stole his breath. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, because there were squirrels near the grave, remember, and all that?
Yeah.
Like, maybe they switched places.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's very, very, very possible.
I know, right? So anyway, I know it was long, I'm sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine.
I love that story.
Thank you so much for calling in with that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. So thank you so much. Sharpshooter's been posting
I'm sorry it was so long, John. I didn't
Oh,
realize
no.
how long it was.
No, it was a good story. Sharpshooter's been posting your link through the whole story time, so I really do appreciate
you
that.
didn't need to do that, dude. Believe me, I don't have much to say on my side.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you again on the stream.
You too. You take care of yourself. I have a good time in your room.
Awesome. I'm so glad you like the channel.
I love it. I have all my girlfriends here. I told them to take a peek at your channel. I don't know if they will, but I hope they will.
That'd be awesome. Trying to spread the word. All right.
Yeah, I will. Hey, I do.
Awesome.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Cynthia Downs. And she shared her scary story. So I'll pick the next one, and then if somebody wants to call in, they can definitely do that with the scary story. When I was a little girl, my father's job meant that our family had to move around a lot. I don't remember most of the small towns we had lived in since we were only a few weeks there for a few weeks. But one small town had burned into my memory forever. My parents rented an old dilapidated house for months. The house was in bad repair and only one of the rooms had running water. Unfortunately, the bathroom was on the top floor of the house. Sorry, I have a hard time reading the small text. Let's see. It gave me the creeps. There was a little door in the wall of the bathroom that gave us access to the attic. The room was always freezing cold, even in the middle of summer. One night, I was taking a bath before bedtime. I just happened to glance at the little door in the wall of the bathroom. The door had always been locked, and there was no key. So we never went into the attic. Curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to investigate. I stepped out of the bath and I looked into the keyhole. I couldn't see anything. It was pitch black inside, and in the attic. I put my ear to the door to listen, and there was a faint scratching sound. When I put my eye to the keyhole, I saw something moving in the darkness. I jumped back, and for a moment the sharp end of a screwdriver poked through the keyhole, thrusting back and forth, stabbing it in thin air, like it was in a frenzy. It disappeared into the black keyhole. It almost poked my eye out. I screamed in horror and ran out through the bathroom. Stark naked and dripping wet, I got downstairs and I cried out for my parents. Mom and Dad, come quick. There's somebody in the attic. What happens when I start doing this stream? I always yawn. My parents called me down at first and asked me to tell them what had happened. They didn't believe me, and just to be sure, my dad agreed to check out the attic. He grabbed his hammer and a flashlight and bounded upstairs. He followed closely by myself and my mother. The little door in the bathroom was locked, and there was no key. My father had pinched off the hinges of the door using the hammer, and he shone the flashlight into the attic. It was completely empty. My parents discussed this as childish imagination, and a few weeks later, we left the house and moved to a different town. Still, I could never forgive the horrific incident in that old house. It was a long time before I ever felt safe taking a bath. Years later, I decided to revisit the old house I spent a brief part of my childhood in. I reconnected with an old friend on Facebook. I known him as a child and arranged to meet him again. We went for a walk in the town and shared some memories of the old place. When we were passing by the old house, I told him that I had lived there for a few months. He said, "Yeah, the screwdriver house," he chuckled. My blood ran cold. I never told anybody else that it happened to me in that bathroom all those years ago. Why do you call it that? I stammered. That's what everybody calls it, he replied. Don't you hear the stories? No, tell me. My stomach felt like it was tied in knots. Shortly after it was built, a family moved in. The husband and his wife and 4 beautiful daughters. His wife died, I guess, and you can say he went a bit screwy. Nobody knows why, but the man murdered all 4 of his daughters with the screwdriver and stacked their bloody corpses in the attic. Woo-wee. Wait, saw what? Hey, Sean was What's going on, man? Good to see you. Sean, how are you? Yeah, that story's pretty creepy. Alright, my 4-hour live stream is set for 5 o'clock. Alright, Johnny Cook Jr., thank you so much for letting us know. Do appreciate it. Alright. Hold on, I'm gonna check this real quick. Wow, almost 50 likes, guys. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Alright. Never told anybody else. Okay. Guys, there is a call-in number if you want to call into the show. Or share your scary stories. Got about an hour and a half left of the show, guys. Alright, good night, Texas Life Julie. Aw, thank you so much, she rocks. Okay. Wow, 30 people in the house. Thank you guys. Let me see what the current live stream statistics are. We're getting up there, so that's good news. We're at 125 views for the live stream so far. We're only about halfway through, so that'd be cool to get closer to 200-300 if possible tonight, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Let's see. So far, we are at 1.5, 1.6, 7, 8, 9. So almost 2,000 watch hours, or 2,000 watch minutes already. So that's pretty rad. So that's cool. Really do appreciate that. Alright. Yeah, guys, if you would like to donate to my stream, you can do that by paying my PayPal. You can make a donation on PayPal. It helps to support the stream. But it's not recommended to be here, and it's not recommended for me to share out your name here on the stream. But if you do make a donation, I will post your link through the rest of this stream. I'll have some of my mods post your link if you do make a donation. If you tweet this out, I'll make sure I give you guys a special shout out for doing that. I know a bunch of you did. See here. Terracope. I know some others. If you're gonna tweet me out and share me out on Facebook, use the @ sign and then no space and then put in HSFL. It should automatically come up for Facebook and for Twitter if you share me out. So, oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you, James, for posting this to my Facebook page. That is awesome view. I do appreciate it. I do not like to twerk on my free time. This is a lie to anybody who's new. Oh, thank you so much, Don Dant. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, I do not like to twerk. This is something not a huge fan of. Only if I get 100 likes on a video. Hey, Alicia Parish Rock fam, what is going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. 28 people in the house. Alrighty. Alright. Yeah, if you guys have a paranormal story, let me know. Call into that number. My throat hurts a little bit tonight. Hope I'm not getting sick. One day, my grandmother took me to visit her friend. The old lady was visiting was named Cora. She lived in the old house that must have been built in the 1900s. One on the way. Back in the 1900s. On the way there, my grandmother told me that Kara had been born in that house and was where she had intended to die. Her husband Mike had passed away a few years earlier from a long time illness. He died in the back room of the house. Cora missed him terribly. But she had recently started dating a new man named Bob, who was the same age as her. When we arrived, Cora was standing in the doorway, waiting for us. She kissed me on the cheek, wrinkled my nose. I wrinkled my nose because she smelled of pee. She introduced me to her pet cat. It was 10 years old, and it was called Mr. Stinky. Oh, great, I thought. A smelly old lady and her smelly old cat. This should be fun. Instead, inside, the place was dirty and dusty and unkept. It was pleasant, but I tried to be polite and keep on smiling. We sat down at the kitchen table, and I listened over to the two ladies chat about old lady stuff, and I thought I couldn't take it anymore. Kara told my grandmother that she had something to show her in the backyard, and she wanted me to come with them. I told them I would go ahead without me. I can't stand to listen to their stupid conversation any longer. I glanced down at my watch and wondered when it would be a good time to go home. When I looked up, there was an old man standing over me. He was standing and staring down my blouse. What a creep. He gave me a disapproving glance. Then I remember I had to be polite. Oh, hello. Holding out my hand. You must be Bob. Nice to meet you. He didn't reply. He moved closer and closer to me. He didn't believe what happened next. I couldn't believe what happened next. He reached out his hand and touched one of my boobs. I cleared my throat quite loudly and gave him an angry look. He withdrew his hand quickly. The way he was standing there and just staring at me made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. After a few minutes, I just wandered around and walked out. Such a weirdo. Then my grandmother, Cobra, came into the room. I was about to tell him what had happened, but I didn't want to cause a problem, so instead I got up and excused myself in the restroom to freshen up. I was sitting on the toilet, and when the door suddenly opened, the creepy old man came in. I cringed in horror. When you're sitting on the toilet, it is one of the most vulnerable situations you can find yourself in. Instead of excusing himself to turning around and walking out like any decent person would do, the old creep got down on his hands and knees and started crawling towards me. It was so bizarre I felt humiliated. And I can't imagine what kind of view he was getting from down there. Get the out, you hissed angrily. Get out and stay out. He looked at and shocked at my colorful language, crawled out the door, shaking in anger. As soon as I was finished what I was doing, I washed my hands and ran out the door. I tried to regain my composure, leaving the bedroom, but it was no use. The creep had seen me streaming mad and storming into the room where the old creep had made me streaming mad. I stormed into the room where my mother and my grandmother were sitting. My grandmother and Cobra was saying, "Is that a boyfriend of yours?" thundered. Cobra was dumbstruck. What happened? I asked my grandmother in shock. Her boyfriend Bob came into the restroom when I was on the toilet, got down on his hands and knees, and shouted. I shouted, "What a dirty freak! That dirty freak would not stop looking at me. Where is he?" Cora's eyes go wide. "Bob is at work," she said. "He won't be home till late." It took me a few moments to sink in. But that means, I screamed, that means it was your husband, Mike. Oh, shit. Oh, wait. What did I miss? Samantha. What happened to Samantha? Oh, gosh. Yes, prayers. God, I ask that you put a shield and light and love and protection around Samantha's mother as she goes in for surgery, and protect her through that situation and give her the guiding light to be able to heal quickly. Amen. Okay. Hi, I am Hein. How's it going? Good to see you. I'm doing good, guys. Welcome everybody to the stream. I do appreciate your guys' love and support. Got much love, guys. Awesome sauce. We're at 143 views on the live stream. That is radical. Do love it. Hey, Creators Alliance, what is going on, man? Good to see you. Hey, I did make that change when I posted the new artwork. I did catch that typo that you said, so thank you for that. I do appreciate you looking out. I did make that change. I actually redid it completely and made it a little bit better, actually. I hope everybody likes the channel art that's on there now. But yeah. Yep. So I went back and made sure that was all done and taken care of, because it was an embarrassing mistake, and I confess to it. I was really tired, and I shouldn't be really tired and try to chat. Yeah, really tired and try to put stuff together, especially artwork, because then I start getting short-sighted. See, like this, I wouldn't have been able to set up all this by myself tonight. Thank God I already have this already pre-done. How do you guys like tonight's theme? Like the blue with the moon and the tree and the after dark glowing in red. Yeah, guys, sure thing. I'm a bit of a grammar Nazi. Glad it. Yeah, I don't take offense to that shit. No, it was a good catch because it looked bad. So, it actually looks great now. So I'm really cool. I found a way better font too. Yeah, the tree is really cool. Yeah, so I ended up, the moon I got from a friend of mine, and then the tree I cut out of a Google copyright free Google image and made it kind of into my own, and then I put it all together, put a filter over it that made it look kind of like it was like a smoky night, and then I kind of made that bluish tinge. So yeah. Oh, okay, the scrolling chat is moving too fast. Okay, I can knock that down a little bit. Okay, filters. I'll knock that chat down a little bit. There we go. Is that better, Creators Alliance? Yeah, that picture now in the background with the tree in the cemetery, that's my own photo from the Adelaide Cemetery. So that's actually one of my night vision, or one of my night shots that I took. Not my night vision camera, but this is a night shot that I took. Usually I had like a pre-cartoony cemetery looking, but I put a real one in the background this time. Yep. Check this. Woohoo! We are only 2 likes away from 40 likes on this. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm just trying to do things to draw more people to the channel. You know how it rolls. If you're not doing something every day to improve your channel, then you're doing something wrong. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm constantly just building my channel better and better, kind of changing the themes. Obviously, I added the Santa hat to the little ghost guy for the holidays. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, I mean, I'm always willing to take suggestions. Definitely, Creators Alliance. Okay. There we go. It's going a little bit slower now, so it should work. Yeah. 2 away from 50 likes. Hey, 89 Mattel, what's up? Good to see you. How you doing tonight? Yep. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. I hope everybody's enjoying their time. Alright. And let's see, it is 12:39. I do appreciate all of your guys' love and support. So we're about 150 views on this live stream. Not bad, not bad. Oh, whoa, 49 likes? What? That's crazy. Okay, guys, if you have a scary ghost story you would like to share here on the stream, please consider doing so by, let's see, I'm going to quit some of these chats so it shouldn't be as laggy. I don't know why it's all laggy all of a sudden. My computer decided to start running really hard. But if you want to call into the show and share a scary ghost story, you all you need to do is call that number and you can call into the show. I'm not twerking until I get 100 likes. I've yet to do that on an After Dark. I'm here in California. San Luis Obispo, California area. Central Coast. About 4 hours north of Los Angeles. You got, man. You've been putting in some work to get all this set up. It looks great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Seriously, man, I do. I really appreciate the comment. Because you're like the OBS master, and I'm like the grasshopper. So I'm still like learning from the master to learn how to kind of master the whole program. Yeah, so I mean, OBS is complicated. Can be. You gotta be patient with it. It can stress you out a lot. So, yeah, guys, please call into the show if you have a scary ghost story. Nice. Alright, Shiha. 50 likes. Awesome. Huh. As soon as I got 50 likes, I also got 1 dislike, so who cares? Guys really wanted to try to be hard on this channel, and thought it'd be an interesting idea to try to... He just wanted to be different, guys. I can respect that. It's awesome. Oh, you're in India. Okay. Yeah, I know where India is. Gotcha. Yeah, it's not far from Palm Springs. I've been there before. I travel a lot. I've been to almost every freaking corner of this state and a lot of other states. I've almost been to all the corners of North Carolina, almost all the way through Texas. There's very few places except for some. I've never been to El Paso, but I've been just about everywhere else in Texas as well. From Amarillo to Dallas to Corpus Christi down towards the border. Yeah, you name it. I've been all over that state too. Used to do a lot of work out there. I was watching Are You Afraid of the Dark earlier. Oh, cool. Let's see. Yep. I have so every show I'm doing now, I'm just gonna have people call in. There's a Google Voice number that is hooked up to my channel, and you guys can call into that number, share your scary ghost stories. Yeah, there's always a. I mean, if I don't get a dislike in my streams, I get kind of worried. I'm so accustomed to it now. Just because I mean, you're always going to have haters, unfortunately. But they sit here and make sure you get all the watch time possible, which is pretty cool. So I do appreciate them. They're pretty beneficial for that reason. Yes, girl, you missed it. Look at his other videos. What are you talking about, Kyoko? Oh, you're talking about the trolls? If the troll don't get no tolls, he ain't gonna eat no rolls. And if he doesn't eat no rolls, he isn't gonna protect the tolls. That's it. I ain't twerking. Not yet. Not till I get 100. It has never happened on this stream, and it probably will never. No. What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk inside your trunk. What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk inside your trunk. Oh my god, you got that Black Eyed Peas song stuck in my head. With all your lady your humps, your my humps, my lovely lady lumps. Check it out. Oh my god, now you got that song so badly stuck in my head. Thank you. Whoever said that. Oh my god. Yeah. I hope that was entertaining for somebody. Exactly. Oh my god. Boys drive me crazy. They do it on the daily. Because my humps, my humps, my lovely lady lumps. Check it out. Oh my god. I've lost my shit. It's officially late. Oh my lord. Alright, I need to get back to the stories before I lose my mind even further. You will rock us no matter what. Oh my god. Atlantis with the intro. Nice. On my milkshake, bring the girls of the yard. Oh, damn right. It's better than yours. Oh, damn right. It's better than yours. My milkshake, bring all boys of the yard. Oh, damn right. It's better than yours. Oh, damn right. Oh my god. Yeah, I better get some likes for that one, y'all. like my sense of like wanting to do the scary movies or scary stories just like completely went down the drain with that both of that. Singing next and twerking, lol. Oh my god. Yeah, I do apologize. Oh, I love Queen. Queen is awesome. Mama just killed a man. Put a gun against his head. Pull the trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun. And now you're gonna take it all away. Ooh, or Mama, ooh, it's enough to make you cry. Enough to make you never wish you'd been born at all. Carry on. Nothing really matters. Yeah. What do you know about shout out people? I know a bunch about shout out people. Hey, Witch on Wheels, what is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm a little off key with that one. Hold on, I'm just curious. I'm not gonna sing the whole thing because Bohemian's a long song. What's the beginning lyric? Oh yeah. Real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Caught in your eye, look into the skies and see. I know the songs. Well, it's also got some other dark undertones as well. It's not just that. Also has to deal with like trying to escape the devil. Yeah, so there's so many different versions of the song. Okay. Is this just real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. Oh my god, yeah, see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy. Cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Everywhere the wind blows. Does okay? I'm done with it. Sorry. Have my moment. Sorry. Have my moment. That's not what this channel's about, or not this stream. I was having fun. I get a little carried away sometimes, but love you guys. Oh, you lucky person, you, whoever just said that. What, Cynthia? Lucky. Mmm. My throat is all messed up right now. I can't even sing right now. I have like really scratchy throat. So I'm sorry, but right now I cannot sing at all. Huh, that's cool. Uh, you're allowed to. Yeah, I can do whatever I want on this stream because it's mine. No, it's fine. Yeah, I know. It's so sad he got AIDS. That's true. Just like Easy E. Hey. Yeah. I'm crazy. I am crazy. Well, L, if you have a ghost story about a lady named Penny, Witch on Wheels, do you want to come up and call in and share that story? That sounds pretty good. You can call into that number right there, and then all you gotta say is your name. I'll page you through, and you will be on the live stream. It's good channel help too. I love the smell of white sage. I got a ton of it. Come on, Witch on Wheels, somebody call into the live stream. Sorry, my throat's hurting. I just want to try to get some, whoever wants to share stories, they can. I know a lot about shadow figures. Everybody here has seen me get chased at the San Luis Cemetery, the Oddfellow Cemetery with the pyramid a few times. Yeah. Hey, it's better than having that song Baby Shark stuck in your head. I'm gonna blame Karaoke Ken for that one. Baby Shark, do 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 do. Oh my god, dude! If I have to hear that freaking song one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah, speaking of smoke break, I kind of want to take a little cigar break real quick, and I'm afraid everybody would leave me. I'm afraid. Hey, Michael with I Believe in Ghosts, what is going on, dude? Good to see you, my friend. I had a bad day. My van broke down, and I'm going to get fired from my job, so yeah, it's really bad. Oh no, Colleen, I'm so sorry. Prayers, my friend. Is there anybody that could help you take you to work? Oh wow, awesome. Oh yeah, so if anybody didn't know who's new to my channel, a few months ago I went to this place called the Murder House. It was a paranormal investigation to find out what was haunting this couple, and the original conversation is that her husband kept getting possessed, very possessive behavior, which was abnormal, and that she had used a Ouija board as a kid, but didn't think it was related because there was 7 murders at that house in like a 15-year time period, and so we went and did the investigation. Oh wait. What do you mean, Alicia Parrish Rock fam? Oh, you're talking about Baby Shark? Oh, I get it now. But yeah, no, I went to the murder house investigation. There was like 8 people that were murdered in that house in a very short amount of time. And this whole house was just really negative energy from the outside. I could feel it. It was just radiating off of this house. So any story and long story short, we did the investigation. That place was 155,000% haunted. Like, a place is messed up. Like, we caught some EVPs that were just out of this world. Anyway, I ended up inadvertently thinking what I was thinking I was speaking to a child was actually something more demonic. and I ended up bringing that demonic energy home with me into my house. I was waking up with scratches across my throat, across my wrists, bleeding in my hand. My pillow was soaked in blood from the claw marks on my hand. Like, yeah, it was no joke. Like, it was very, very, very scary, and I never want to go through it again. So I now have a lot of protection in my house. Now I have some new crystals coming soon. I got my good luck charm crystal that I have with me at all times. Now I got my sage. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I mean, I caught the image of this demonic creature in my house for like over a month. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Yeah. No baby shark, I promise. No baby shark. Yeah, that house was. I mean, my house was pretty messed up for a while. My stuff is still going on in my house constantly, though. Like, if you guys saw that last one where my camera spiraled out of control and, like, went nuts, and then I saw that thing move behind me, that was only, like, less than a week ago. It was a week ago. And, like, my house has been haunted since I moved in here. Like, it's been haunted before I moved back here. The lady who used to own this house died in this room, actually. Her name was Janet. Yeah, the cross lifted. My thing went out of control. I'll try to show you guys if you haven't seen that video, because it's fucking crazy. You can't really see the first one, so gotta try to show it. Okay. So I noticed there, you saw me look behind me. It happens really freaking fast. Okay. You'll see like a glitch thing in the window. I don't know if you can see it. It happens kind of quick. Yeah, so like something moves behind my camera right there, which was pretty nuts. And then the second instance was this, when I'm talking to Atlantis Paranormal. So like my phone, my streaming camera just completely went out of whack. So let me know what you think about that. That comment. Yeah, it was a lot of activity. Yeah, it was, dude. It got intense, and that's not even Atlantis. That is not even as bad as when Chris from Bakersfield Paranormal Services came down last weekend. Dude, we were seeing black orbs in the house for like 4 hours straight. Like, they were like zigzagging across. I caught some of them on one of my night vision cameras. I'm gonna be trying to download that footage. Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. And like we both saw what looked like a woman crawling on her hands and knees, like a really decayed old woman crawling across the floor briefly, and then it went. And it was creepy. It was just creepy. Yeah, and it zapped all my energy. Yeah, no bueno, por favor. And if you haven't seen the other one that I had like the most mind-blowing episode of paranormal shit is when my blinds got pulled down. I don't know if anybody remembers that from After Dark number 4. I have that timestamp too. Okay. So this was a long time ago. This was about 4 or 5 months ago. You'll actually see the blinds get pulled down. So those who are new, this is the 4th installment of this show. Okay, so here you go. You'll see the blinds get pulled. There you go. The blinds got pulled down. Hey, Kiwi Matt. What's going on, man? Yeah. So then the blinds get released at one point. I think it's coming up here pretty soon. So there goes. The blinds went back up. And watch what happens. My meter goes off when the blinds open. So yeah, it was pretty screwed up, you guys. Not even lying. It was that was when I was having the crazy energy in my house. I hope to never have that go on again. 'Cause that was pretty nuts. Yeah. I know, I need to go look for crystals. There's a ton of them here. I need to just grab some. It's good to see you, Kiwi Matt. So, if anybody has any scary stories, please call into the number and you can share your scariest stories. Hey, Mr. Dave, what is going on, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, that's crazy, bud. This house is haunted as fuck. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. My bad. Sorry, YouTube. But it's not like I haven't cussed on my channel, and as long as I don't keep doing it, then I'm fine. But I need to stop cussing on my channel. But yes, it's late at night. Sometimes my fudge filter's off. So yeah. Surprise! F-bomb. F-bomb. Yeah. Yeah, it's late. My filter for like conscious thinking is kind of just wearing thin right now. I'm like on the verge of where I'm about to want to go to sleep, but I didn't realize I have another hour. But I'm gonna try my best to entertain you guys, so I hope you do enjoy. I have crystals all over my house. I know you do, and I'm jealous of it. I did get some crystals. I'm getting them delivered here soon, so it's gonna be super nice. I spent some good money so I could put some nice amethyst crystals and some other stuff to protect my house. Yes, I have holy water at my house. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It is in the kitchen in a squirt bottle. Amethyst quartz, and I forgot the black tourmaline or whatever it's called. I got some of that, so it's gonna be all spiritual up in here. You guys. Oh, guys, I got a Christmas present for Cynthia from the Paranormal group. My Paranormal group, Presence of the Unknown. Look how big this thing of sage is. That's going to be Cynthia Boyd from Presence of the Unknown's Christmas gift from me. A huge bundle of white sage. Yeah, tourmaline. Yeah. Whatever that name of that. Yeah, that one. She's sending me some other stuff too. My new Crystal Connect. Yeah. Yeah, I got all spiritual this morning. Woke up, got all spiritual, did a smudging, smudged myself, smudged the house. I was tying my shoe. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a fiver real quick. I've been staring at the screen for about 2 hours, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do a quick little break. Be right back. Yo. Just grabbing my phone so I can talk to you guys. Alrighty, guess who? I'm back. Alright, welcome back everybody. I took a little smoke break. Yeah, I know. She's having another gem sale soon. Alrighty, guys. Alright, I am back live here on HSFL Paranormal. Welcome back, everybody. Hello, hello. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see possibly do it. Alright, let's see. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Alright. I was never gone. I'm always here. Okay, this story is called The Dark Shadow. When I was 12 years old, my parents divorced, and I went to live with my mother. We moved into an old Victorian house, which was rented temporarily. Oh, did I already read that one? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Rented temporarily until we could find something better. For the first couple of days after we moved in, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But at night we had trouble sleeping. I did manage to fall asleep. We were having a terrifying and disturbing nightmares. It would always wake us up in a cold sweat, but it would never. We could never remember what it was about. Starting to feel a little paranoid sometimes, we would catch glimpses of dark shadows moving by the corner of my eye. I shrugged it off as it being my overactive imagination. One day, my mother and I were cleaning out the attic. I came across something very strange. Tucked away in a corner, I discovered a Ouija board. You know how I don't like Ouija boards. Some candles and a small black book with weird gothic lettering inside. When I showed them to my mom, her face went pale. She immediately turned them all up, or gathered them all up, took them outside, and threw them in the trash. I tried to ask her what they were, but she refused to speak about it. The next day, she went shopping, and when she came back, she had present for me. It was a necklace with a pendant in the shape of a golden cross. She had also brought me a necklace for myself. At that time, I wasn't very religious, but I wore it just to please her. I had a friend named Maddie who decided to sleep over at my house. My mother was going to visit relatives, so we could have the place alone for the night. I wasn't worried because Maddie was rarely afraid of anything. She always made me feel safe. We watched the movies, and shortly before midnight, we decided to go to bed. Hold on, I'm just checking to see. The two of us lay in bed, chatting for a while before we eventually went to sleep. In the middle of the night, I was woke up to a strange sound. It was a low, growling sound. Gradually, it grew louder and louder until it sounded like the intense humming of evil. Wondering what it was, we slid out of bed and opened the window to peer out to see what it was. What we saw was a dark shadow slowly moving up the stairs. Everything was pitch black. It was almost a blend. It almost blended in with the other shadows, but it was not. It was much darker. My first instinct was to run, but I could not move. Fear had rooted me to the spot. When I reached the stairs, the black mass just stood there, with its head bowed and its shoulders slumped. The whole silhouette seemed fuzzy and indistinct around the edges. It had no face, just a heavy black outline of something that looked vaguely human. Suddenly and slowly, it turned and faced us with deep red eyes, just staring at us. It was also looking straight at us. It had something. What the hell is that sound? What is that? chair, is it? I'm really hoping that's my chair. No, Baxter's asleep. Sounds like something's like knocking on the wall. It's creeping me out. What the hell is that? It sounds like somebody's messing with the blinds behind me. Like the outside. Or my chair? No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. That's freaking me out a little bit, guys. Yeah, I don't like that sound. It's creeping me out. Alright, anyway. Yeah. Alright, back to the story. The shadow seemed to stop in its tracks. Maddie was suddenly grabbed me and pulled me back as she slammed the door. We piled up in the furniture against the wall and waited. As we could hear was an eerie silence. I was shaking so hard that Maddie actually had to grab me and hold me down to calm me down. We were freaked out, and we just sat there behind a pile of furniture and held it into my gold cross for dear life. We stayed up all night, awake, terrified to close our eyes. As the morning began to shine through the window, my nerves were shot, so I was exhausted and eventually passed out. I woke up a few hours later when my mom came home. We opened the door and locked to the hallway. There was nothing there, but we could see what looked like dusty footprints in the dark mass, where the dark mass had been. I told my mother what happened, and the next day we moved out and stayed in a motel until we could find another house. I'm 18 now, and I still think about this incident all the time. I know that it was a demon that we saw that night. It was too dark and it felt too evil to be anything else. So there's that story. Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah, I don't like that. What is that knocking? Sounds like it's coming from underneath the bed here. Or something. It's flipping me out though, I'll tell you what. Thank you guys for the 16 people that are still watching. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna do the St. Michael's protection prayer real quick. St. Michael's prayer. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, our Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl around this world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Jeez. God, our Father, Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever and ever. Amen. I saged this whole house today. It shouldn't be doing. Something buzzing? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's explainable, hopefully. But I'm looking to see what that sound could be. Just doesn't like. I don't like sounds like that. All right. Let us see. Does anybody in the chat have any scary stories that they would like to come up and share? Got 16 people in the house. I do appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. After dark. Number 15. Hold on. I just want to see here on Facebook. Yep. We got Sharpshooter sharing this out. Thank you, Sharpshooter. I do appreciate it, buddy. Hey, M City Angel, thanks for tweeting this out. I thought I added her before. So yep, I did check on the tweets and I did check on the Facebook just to make sure I shouted the right people out. Sorry if I didn't call your name, but thank you. Oh, you like listening to me tell them? Thank you. John in the Navy Army game. Who are you for? What are you talking about? What military branch I like the best, or what's the Army Navy game? I'm a Marine Corps brat, so I'm naturally gonna pick the Marines as my fave. Oh. If it's only between the Army and the Navy, I'm picking the Army hands down. Well, unless there's Navy SEALs, then I guess it would probably smack the Army pretty good. Yeah, but it's a discrepancy with the Navy and the Marine Corps. If you grew up in a Marine Corps family, the Navy gets the most shit. Hoorah! The few, the proud, the Marines. Yes, the Marines are bad asses. Whoa. Army. Hoorah. Oh yeah, fourth generation. Yeah, same here. I've had family date back all the way to the Revolutionary War, Civil War. I've had family in Vietnam. I had family in uh, World War One and Two, and I had family. My dad was in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, Army's badass. I'm trying to get my buddy Chris from North Carolina to join in on YouTube and create a channel. But he's a great musician slash rapper, and I thought he would be interested in starting YouTube. But he also likes the paranormal stuff. My grandfather was part of the Frozen Chosen. Huh. Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Well, thank you to all your family services in the military. That's awesome. I have much respect for the U.S. military. Guys, I'm thinking about ending this stream. I'm getting more tired than I thought I was. I try to make it. I guess I could try to make it through like one more or two more stories. But that's about it. And then I am tossed like a salad. Okay. I was about 10 years old. I was sleeping in bed. This one is called The Crutches. I was about 10 years old sleeping in bed. I was upstairs in a hall across the hallway. I was taken up through the middle of the night by noises downstairs. The house was quite big, and based on the layout of the house, I would have been the only person to hear it. The other rooms were newer part of the house. The noises sounded like someone on crutches walking around. It was all wooden floors in the house at the time. You cannot mistake the sound of crutches. You hear them clanking around in the hallway and down the bottom of the stairs. I was very scared. I only knew that I was the only person awake. But it got worse. All of a sudden, the crutches flew up the stairs. I could hear them on the individual steps speed up, but that was not possible. It was 2 seconds from the upstairs to the downstairs, and then across the hallway. I wasn't even attempting to be quiet. I just exploded into my room. The door closed, and it never opened. But this thing was in my room and besides my bed. Obviously, the noise of crutches flying up the stairs and into my room had thrown me, and I had thrown myself under the covers and blankets, trying not to breathe with fear. I could feel something in the room. It quickly went around the opposite side of my bed. And then, just as eerily silence, I looked and never heard. But something was there, and it was looking at my bed. I have no idea how long it went on for, but I quickly realized it flew around my bed, through my door and back down the stairs. The silence overcame the house, and I never heard it again. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've been not sleeping at all lately. I've been having, like, last night was the first time in, like, 5 days I actually slept. And I was just busy trying to create content ideas and redo the channel art. I'm buffering. Refresh your page, because it looks good on here. Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, am I back? hold on just a second. I should be back. Okay, I'm back now, supposedly. Had some technical difficulties. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, you guys missed the whole story? I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll try to do 2 more if I can find them. I'm getting pretty tired. In May of 1951, there was a strange incident that had said to take place in Manila in the Philippines. One night, the officer was on patrol. He came across an 18-year-old stumbling in the back of the streets. She was fully clothed in a flimsy dress and seemed to be talking to herself. He overheard her say, "Help me! Help me! Somebody's biting me!" The police officers suspected that she was high on drugs, suffering from hallucinogens. So he arrested her and brought her down to the police station. However, he took off the handcuffs at the station and tried to take her fingerprints, and the girl started to scream. He's here, help me, he's chasing me, she cried before collapsing to the floor. As the policeman bent down to pick her up, he saw that something that horrified him. Right before his very eyes, fresh bite marks began to appear on the girl's arms and shoulders. The wounds seemed deep and started to bleed, and the officer couldn't believe what he was seeing and immediately contacted the chief of police. His boss was furious about being disturbed in the middle of the night. He got out of bed and came down to the station to see what was wrong. At first glance, that the girl must have been making the marks herself, but when he examined her more closely, he realized that the bike marks were in a place where somebody could not reach them, or she could not reach them. You can't chew on your own back, he muttered, scratching his head. They decided to keep the girl at the police station overnight and locked her cell. During the night, okay, hold on just a second. Where was I? Sorry, I had gotten a message. I got distracted. She did not hurt herself while in the police custody. Dawn arrived. The girl was sleeping peacefully, so the policeman decided to take a break for a cup of coffee. Just as he was pouring herself a cup, he heard the girl scream again. He's back! He's back! Her blood-curdling scream, and the police officer was so surprised he dropped his cup of coffee. The cup smashed on the floor, and he struggled to find his keys in his pocket. As he listened to the terrifying shrieks coming from the direction of the cells, he was sure that the girl was in fear for her life. By the time the officer managed to unlock the doors, screaming had stopped. She found the girl lying on the cell in a pool of her own blood. Her throat had been torn out, and there were bite marks all over her neck and back. The police had arrived to the station with the coroner, and they examined the girl's corpse. Neither of them could explain how the girl was murdered while they were locked in the empty cell. Every policeman was trembling with fear. According to legend, the police covered up the strange incident of the girl's death and was listed as suicide. The true details of the case were recorded by the Manila police in a special top secret classified casebook under the heading Unsolved Mystery Number 108, The Bite Marks. So that one's pretty creepy, you guys. Nice. 90. Wow, that's pretty rad. Woohoo. Awesome. We have 190 views on this live stream so far, so that's awesome. So there'll probably be another 50 or so afterward, so that will be pretty legit. I'd like to try to make it for the full 3 hours, but I mean, man, it is late. Not gonna lie. Alright, this is the last story, guys, and then I'm going to bed, okay? Trying to make it the whole time. It's hard to make it through all this after, like, not sleeping all weekend and, like, but I will be up for the full event tomorrow for Let's Hear Your Paranormal Stories, where I ask you to come up and share. So, when I was young, my parents lived in the house that was built in the 1920s. One evening, my parents had gone out and I was alone at the house. I was laying in bed asleep. My door was open. My door was open from the bed. All I could see was the hall and the front door. I rolled over in bed to get comfortable, and out of the corner of my eye, I noticed something at the end of the hallway. All these years later, it still gives me the goosebumps thinking about it. There was a black shadowy figure, and it was a vague and distinct shape of a human man, but it looked like black squiggles, like someone had scribbled in a human shape on a piece of paper, but the squiggles were moving like a static electricity or animation was the best way I could describe it. Then the squiggle man noticed me looking at him. He reached out and began to beckon towards me. I was so scared I could not move. I couldn't even scream. All of a sudden, it came rushing down the hall towards me. I was frozen with fear, petrified. As soon as the reached my doorway, suddenly the door slammed shut with a loud bang. I screamed and yelled for my parents, but they weren't home. It was a few moments in my life that I was scared out of my mind and could not comprehend what I had seen. I opened up a bedroom window and scrambled it outside. I did not go back into the house until my parents had gone. About an hour later. Sorry. Ugh. I didn't believe in ghosts then, and I don't know if I believe them now, but I saw something, and I don't know what that something was. Cynthia. Hey, Egyptian Gamer Geek, what is going on, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you so much for dropping by. Much love, my friend. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. So we got about 15 people left in the chat. I think this is about a good enough time to sign off for tonight, and I hope everybody did enjoy the live stream. Let me know in the comment section. And so pretty much I'm going to be signing off. MT Cold Forge and Gaming. What is going on, my friend? I hope you had a great night tonight. Let me see if I can find another channel so we could go raid them real quick before I sign out. Let's see, is Herman still on? Okay, guys, Herman the Great is on right now. I'm gonna put Link to his chat. Into mine. We're going to do a HSFL raid on his channel. So, here we go. Herman the Great live stream. Hashtag HSFL Paranormal. Oh, never mind. Hashtag HSFL raid. So all you gotta do is put in HSFL raid. Awesome. Thank you so much, 89 Mattel. Yeah, sorry I couldn't make it the full 3 hours. I tried to on Tuesday nights, but sometimes it's rough. I really do appreciate everybody coming on and joining. It was really, really fun hanging out with all y'all. So go click on that link, put in HSFL raid. I'll join you over there real quick, just so I can hear his reaction. Okay, guys, let's go over there. Alright, HSFL raid. Alright, guys, raid his account. I'm there right now.
Good job. I've had because of stress. Yeah. Oh, HSFL, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm actually awake this time, John A. I'm actually awake this time. I remember HSFL raided my stream one time. My 24-hour stream, I was sleeping. So, thank you. Oh, Karaoke, welcome to the stream, everybody.
Awesome,
MC,
guys.
welcome, Raiders. Not those type of Raiders. If you're the Oakland Raiders, you can go screw yourselves. But you're not, so.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna head out for the night. You guys have a lovely night. Hang out with Herman here. He's a great YouTuber. Much love and light. Take care. Peace out.